3 myths about job interviews you should steer clear from. Let's go. Hey, this is Matt from Elevation Career, here to help you stand out in this competitive job market through proven top-notch strategies. Today, we're going to expose 3 common misconceptions that may be hurting your job search and offers right now. I'll also be sharing the best practices that you should be following instead of these false beliefs, so make sure you pay attention. Number 1. What I speak about during the interview is the only thing that matters. Many people believe what they say during the interview is the only thing that'll impact the interview outcome, and they mistakenly believe that as long as they say the right things, they will pass. But in fact, there's so much more that is involved when it comes to convincing the employer. You may have heard this before, but according to a well-known research, verbal communication accounts for only 7% of how meaning is conveyed. 38% of meaning is conveyed through our tone of voice, and the rest, 55%, through our body language. Now, I don't know how accurate these numbers are and why it's 7% and not 8%, but one thing that is sure is that our nonverbal communication accounts for much more than the words we speak. One thing we have to always keep in mind is that interviewers will remember how you made them feel much more than what you said to them. There's simply no way interviewers can remember every single conversation or question that they asked and the exact response from each and every candidate. Rather, what they remember is how they felt about you and their impression of you during the meeting. This means how you come across to the interviewer, the amount of energy you exude, your enthusiasm, eye contact, level of confidence. All these things will have significantly more impact on the results. Obviously, I'm not saying that the content of your conversation doesn't matter. Your knowledge, expertise, and skills are must-haves. But unless they're communicated in a clear and convincing manner, the interviewer will not have the confidence in you to pull the trigger at the end of the day. If you're interested in improving the way you communicate, I have a super useful and simple tip for you. What you want to do is to record yourself on video as you speak. Pick any topic and speak about it for around 5 minutes. And it can't be something that you memorize or read off of a script. You need to improvise and just start talking. And then this is how you assess your communication skills. I actually learned this part from a communication expert called Vin Jiang. As you review the video you recorded of yourself, first watch it with the sound turned off. No sound. This will allow you to focus on your body language, such as your hand gesture, eye contact, your movement, basically what you look like to everyone around you when you talk. And then the second time, play it without looking at the screen. This time you're only listening to the audio so that you can pay attention to your tone, energy, filler word, your pauses, level of confidence, and etc. in your voice. This is a first step in recognizing and improving your ability to communicate and express yourself powerfully during interviews and in fact any important meeting. Number 2. If I tell the employer that I'm interested in them, they will think I'm too desperate. Another myth many people believe in is that they should not express their interest in the role for the fear that they will come across as desperate. So instead, they communicate things like, I'm just trying to see what's available in the market, or I'm just exploring. But that is a terrible idea. Let me explain. During the interview stage, if the employer feels that you are not interested in their role, it'll only create doubt in their mind about your candidacy. Because no employer, no hiring manager wants to ever hire someone who they believe is not genuinely keen on their position for the fear that you will not be happy in the job or you will end up leaving soon. Instead, if you're interviewing for a role that you genuinely want to pursue, make sure you communicate your interest clearly and that the interviewer and hiring manager are aware of your keenness and commitment. This will only solidify their assurance in you and make them like you more. You have to recognize one of the biggest fears of a hiring manager is employing the wrong person who will not be happy in the job and as a result not be committed to the role and or end up leaving soon. And the cost of making a wrong hire is often much more expensive than not hiring at all. In fact, lack of motivation or the employer's perception of lack of motivation is probably the most common reason an otherwise qualified candidate is rejected. Throughout my recruitment career, I have witnessed so many qualified candidates whom even the employer agreed are a fit for the job, in the end not getting the offer because the employer was not convinced they genuinely wanted to join their team. You see, once the motivation is in question, the employer will almost always choose not to hire. Before we go to our final point, if you found this video helpful and want more content like this one, please do like the video and subscribe. I'll be posting new content regularly, and I do hope to see you again soon. Myth number 3. I should ask questions only at the end of the meeting. This is another extremely common misconception. To be honest, it is understandable because we've become so used to asking questions only at the end of the meeting. However, this is not what you want to do. You see, if we wait until the end of the meeting, we will simply not have sufficient time to discuss the topics of your interest. When the interviewer asks you if you have any questions, it's only when they feel they're done and they're ready to pack up. They're not expecting, nor do they want to get into a long discussion about a new subject. Therefore, if you ask questions that may require in-depth answers, they will either only give you shallow responses, or you may put the interviewer in an awkward position. Instead, ask your questions throughout the interview. The interview style that is most conducive to rapport building is a conversational one where questions flow both ways. Remember, as much as the employer is interviewing you, you're also interviewing them because you are the one who will decide at the end of the day if you want to be part of their organization. Not only that, by asking strategic questions you prepared beforehand, you can also influence the discussion and lead it to where you want it to go. Of course, you don't want to take over the entire meeting, but don't be afraid to have a two-way conversation instead of feeling like you have to leave your questions until the end. If you ever wonder about what you should ask during an interview, there is one question that you can and should ask in pretty much any interview you attend. If you want to know what it is, check out the video on this screen. The link will be down below too. And as always, thank you for watching, and I wish you all the very best.